Welcome anyone to the Gaming Chamber Podcast, episode 28. I am your host, Two Beasts to Kill You. We are one day late with the recording, but we're not missing a week. And is that fireworks going off in the? Yeah, that is fireworks going off in the background. If it can be
Is it
heard,
like Mexican independence or something like that?
is it?
That's happening soon. I got like a
Right?
notification
Yeah.
on my phone, like from because I have a Ring doorbell, so like I get notifications. They're like reminder. I saw some like Hispanic or Mexican heritage. I forget which one it was, but like
I
it was like,
did.
oh,
I did yesterday when I was driving. Oh, my host joined. Let me get to this real quick. I'm joined again, Devin, JJ. Go ahead, guys. Say what's up.
what's up? Ready to grip
Yo,
it and
yo, yo, yo,
speak.
yo.
No, okay. So
I'm
back to
back,
what I'm saying.
baby.
Yeah, JJ is back from his hiatus where he went to Disneyland. Good for him. No, yesterday when I was driving, I did see someone with an an El Salvador flag. So I don't know, maybe that. I wouldn't know.
I'm gonna go into my Ring app right now. It's gonna tell me.
Yeah, but there were some
Maybe it will.
fireworks going off right now. This is riveting stuff he is looking for.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at in here.
That's fine.
Neighbors maybe. Yeah, fireworks head up. September 16th is Mexican Independence Day. Prepared
Oh, it
for
is Mexican
fireworks.
Independence Day. So mine and JJ's people, our ancestors. Wait, JJ, is your family or heritage from Mexico? Or are you a different kind of spit?
Jesus
Yeah, I'm
Christ.
from Mexico. Yeah, I'm from Mexico. Well, my
Hey!
mom's from Mexico, but yeah.
I could say that word, okay? I am Hispanic.
You're like, my best friend's Hispanic.
I am Hispanic. My last name is a Hispanic name.
Prove it. Pixar didn't have.
I mean, that picture that's. Look at. There's a picture of me right here on the Discord chat thing where it's recording. Like, I. A lot of people say I look like I just crossed the border, but that's a whole other thing. Anyways, all right. So, back again with another week.
Do they often yell MAGA after that?
Oh my god. Oh, it's funny that you did say that because remember you were making fun of my picture. It looks like those like what when like someone's like endorses like Biden or something. I used to be a fan of that, and it's always those white people with the sunglasses in their car or whatever it is. That shit is hilarious. If I could get my picture just put into that picture, that'd be hilarious to see. I don't have the Photoshop skills for that. Even that I cannot do. So, anyways, yes, we're back again. Another week of gaming news. A very big week, I would say. Even though there wasn't a lot of news, it's a big week of news. Just for at least a couple of things that had happened. With the obvious being the PS5 Pro announcement, but we'll get into that. So, yeah, before we get into the news, we'll go with JJ first because he wasn't here last week, or wasn't recording last week. I know. Oh my god, he was not around. So what have you been playing? If you've been playing anything besides, or if you want to talk about Disneyland. Wait,
Disneyland was fine.
when you went to Disneyland, you do know though, right? If you die, Disneyland, they own your body or something, right?
That's fine. Mickey can touch me only once.
Oh,
Preferably Donald Duck. I love Donald Duck.
Preferably Donald Duck can have your body after your death. That's a good one.
Amen,
Anyways.
brother. No, but it was hot as shit. It's like I fucking hate it. I think Sunday was like fucking 110 or some shit. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
but
there was a heat wave from like Thursday or Friday up until Monday. That
it's
weekend.
Fucking sucked so much dick. But
yeah, welcome to California.
Yeah, it was fun though. Girlfriend and her family had a good time. Their first time going, so.
Did you play any games or? Oh, you actually go ahead.
I think when I came back, I actually started playing Escape from Tarkov because I moved my computer to her place now. So Now I get to play a lot of PC games now, and Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
I think those are the 2 games I've been really playing. Besides RuneScape, but I feel like I'm always playing RuneScape.
Interesting. That's not much. You had your little vacay, as the kids say, or vacation. I don't know. I'm just saying shit now.
Boomerang.
Yeah, I'm 38 years old. Okay, I don't quite understand everything.
Okay, Grandpa.
Anyways, Devin,
Mm-hmm.
what about you? What have you been playing this past week?
We did like those couple missions of Warhammer, and then I was able to pick up a copy of Star Wars Outlaws for $30.
Oh,
I'm playing that right now, and yeah.
Is it as bad as everyone's saying?
It's tough. No, I mean, like, I only played a little bit. I mean, like, it's an Ubisoft game, but like, it's not as bad as everyone says it is. Like, it's a 7 out of 10 game.
It's preferable. It's
like,
it's perfectly serviceable, but don't expect it to knock your socks off.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a game of the year, but like, is it a piece of dog shit? No, but is it like an enjoyable enough game? Like, I haven't encountered any of the bugs. I mean, like, I know like the PC and PS5 had like the crazy bugs. So we haven't had, or I haven't had to deal with like the crazy bugs. So that's been kind of nice, especially because like it's been patched like once or twice even too. So I haven't encountered any bugs. But yeah, it's a 7 out of 10 game. It's worth, if you can get it for $30-$40. That's what it's worth. It's not a $70 game. So that's the issue. I think when you pay $70 for a game and you get like a 10, that's like the kind of the shit part.
Yeah, yeah. With games getting more expensive, I think 7 out of 10s would have been fine. Yeah, or if it was, I mean, it being a 7 out of 10 would have been fine, just on its own. I think it being a $70 game just makes it more. It's like those types of games when you buy something that's like $40, $50, and it's like, oh, it's a 7 out of 10. It's like, okay, it was only $40-$50. But yeah, with games getting more and more expensive.
And it's got the active reload mechanic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty funny. Okay. You know what? As for me, yeah, we played a little bit of the Space Marine 2, but honestly, I haven't really played much. I've just been looking at not looking at, but I've kind of downloaded a couple games here and there to see how far I can push my PC when it comes to games. And so far, like, I can't put anything on ultra settings. Like, not everything can be ultra settings. Certain things can be. But mainly if I just put on high settings and then just uncap the frame rate, that seems to be like the sweet spot. Which I'm assuming means that, well, when I ran a couple of the games, it looked like they were running at 100 and something frames. So I don't know. All I know is I'm waiting for Dead Rising remake this Friday. That's all I care about. Because we need more Dead Rising. I really hope this does well and they decide to start remaking, like, maybe not off the record, but Dead Rising 2, 3, and 4 as, like, newer graphics. Maybe not 4, I guess, but 2 and 3. All right. You guys have anything that you maybe wanted to bring in before we get into the topics?
I'm good.
I know JJ sometimes.
Nothing that I can think of. I don't think. Besides what, like, I guess Call of Duty shit with the new season starting this week is the Halloween event, which will have Michael Myers.
The singer?
No. Mike Myers. Sorry, Mike Myers. Kidding.
Wait, the singer?
Shrek? Got it.
Did you say the singer?
Yeah.
Who's the singer? That's named Michael Myers.
Yeah. Isn't there a singer? Or am I thinking of Michael? I mean, isn't there a singer, Michael Myers? I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking Michael Bolton. I don't know. Michael Myers.
There's a horror event. This is the last thing for Modern Warfare 3. Then everything doesn't transfer over. You have to start over from scratch. Unless you play Warzone, then all that shit stays. But who cares?
I mean,
Nothing really. No.
Some people care. All right, let's go ahead and
I
get
will.
in.
I will next year.
Oh God. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into these things, and let's just start off with the the minor ones, obviously. Annapurna, their gaming division.
The ones that P. Diddy would be interested in.
Ooh, no.
P Diddy party.
Okay. So Annapurna,
What, he got arrested today. It's top.
You
It's
just said it.
topical.
You just said it.
I don't even know what to say. All right, we're getting off rails now with P. Diddy, and I don't want to talk about that motherfucker. But so Annapurna, we talked about him last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. I think the last podcast that JJ was on, right?
Yeah.
Or it might have been actually just you and I, Devin, when we were talking about the Alan Wake stuff. But yeah, they mainly do movies. Well, we found out that last time they mainly do movies. That's where they were started. That's what they started as, is movie company. But they do their gaming stuff. There's that cat game that released 2 years ago or whatever it was. I don't remember what it's called. Or last year.
The cat game Stray?
Stray? Is that what it's called?
Stray the cat? Yeah, Stray. That was
Yeah.
the contender game of the year.
I played it. It was boring as fuck. So it was on
Trash.
Xbox.
You're trash.
It was boring. Like, the puzzles were easy. There was no real combat, and it was just like you're going from point A to point B. It was almost a walking simulator. It wasn't good. I didn't finish it because I was so bored out of my mind. I couldn't finish it. Anyways, their gaming division. There's about 30 of them, 30 people that work there. All of them have quit. This is in basically protest because Annapurna Interactive president Nathan Gary left after just a dispute with the owner of Annapurna, Megan Allison. I'm looking up the name right now. And he wanted to make the Annapurna Interactive as its own company. When that didn't happen, he said, "Okay, I'm resigning." All the staff went with him. They said, "Okay, we're leaving with him." Now, this is kind of nuts because they're still, as far as I know, they're still publishing. They're going to be publishing some games later on this year. Or I don't even know what's going to happen with that then. And I mean, there's still Annapurna Pictures, which I'm assuming is not going to be affected by this at all. That's their movie and TV division. But I am looking up. So some of the games they released were Cocoon, Stray, we mentioned that, Neon White, The Artful Escape, Sayonara Wild Hearts. I think but Annapurna is more of a publisher, so I don't know for games that are coming out if that's really going to affect them as much. If maybe they could have a skeleton crew to just push it out. I don't know. I just wanted to, I want to talk about this because this is kind of a crazy thing. You don't see this kind of. I mean, we've seen where what was it? I'm trying to remember his name. The guys, they worked on Call of Duty and then made Respawn Studios. What was the name of those? Vince Zampella and Robert something. I'm forgetting the other guy's name. But remember when they quit, they basically took a lot of Infinity Ward with them. Like, there was that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't really see this where it's like somebody left and then I think that happened with the company that BioWare. I think when someone left BioWare, they took a bunch of people with them too. But yeah, like I said, you don't really see this too often where it's just like, oh, yeah, he's leaving, we're leaving too. Like more in protest. I mean, you do see like when someone leaves, they take a bunch of staff with them when they make a new studio. Like I'm forgetting his name, but when they made Hi-Fi, the company that made Hi-Fi Rush, when is it Shinji Mikami?
Tango Gameworks.
Yeah, it was Tango Gameworks, but no, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. The guy who ran the studio. When he left, he did take a bunch of people from Tango Gameworks to make his new studio. But that was just, because he was done with Tango Gameworks, and that does kind of happen a lot. But like I said, yeah, this where it's in protest of like, okay, he's leaving because of whatever you did. Yeah, we're leaving too. Yeah, I don't. As far as I know, the only time that something like that has happened is when with Zampella and the other guy from Infinity Ward. So I don't know. Just what are you guys' thoughts on this, Devin?
I mean, I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know, some corporate BS. Like, I don't know. Like, they didn't make that great a game, so, I mean, like you said, like, Stray was their best game, and, I mean, now they're not doing it, so I'm just like, eh. It has, I don't know. It doesn't even, like, really register. I mean, like we said, this is minor news, so it really doesn't even, I don't know. I don't even have many thoughts, because it doesn't really affect the games that I like.
No thoughts, head empty.
That's just pretty much.
Yeah, I figured. JJ, what about you? Just not much either. Looks like JJ might be a little busy.
Oh, sorry about that. Kid was running around. I think it's whatever. It's just minor news, like Devin said. It's just loyalty, I guess. They're like, yeah, peace out. They just kind of like the whole job thing. Like, hey, so and so quits, we quit. Boom. Probably more to it, but that's how I see it.
Yeah. Oh well.
They
I don't.
loyal.
Like I said, I wanted to bring this up more because it's something that you don't see happen very often. It's just
Yeah, kind of crazy.
yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next thing. We'll, you know what? Actually, you talked about Star Wars Outlaws earlier. We'll talk about this. There's a minority investor in Ubisoft. He wants the company to go private. The reason for this is lately their shares have been dropping because, well, like quite frankly, they're not releasing games that are hits as usual. Like Star Wars Outlaws apparently has not been a hit and has not sold well apparently, and so they're trying. Obviously investors are trying to save their money. They're not trying to lose money in such a
Hmm.
big chunk like that or whatever.
In this
Because
economy?
yeah, because stocks, obviously that affects their how much they're worth or whatever it is they're worth. And
Hmm.
I don't, honestly, I think this is. I want to mention this because I think this is hilarious because people have been talking crap about Ubisoft for a few years now with making games that are either not that good or the way they make their games or the way they sell their games with doing like I even Star Wars Outlaws had that what $110 version or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's why I want to mention this because yeah, that makes sense that their stock prices just going down, going down. I'm not a business guy. I'm not an investor or whatever it is. So I don't know exactly what the company going private is going to do. If that means that maybe stuff freezes or whatever. I don't know. Devin, you're white. You would know better than I would, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like. I don't know what going private would actually do for the company. Like, as public, you get to have like, I mean, you're answering to your shareholders. So I just don't know. Like, so private, you wouldn't have to worry about shareholders. Maybe I don't.
That's what I would think too, right? It's weird.
So I'm reading through
So
more of
yeah,
the
I'm
story.
not.
I'm reading through more of it. They're also saying that like either make it private or just sell the company. Because it's saying the group right here, AJ Investments, a hedge fund that holds less than 1% in Ubisoft, urged the board of directors to take the company private or sell it to a strategic investor. The group clearly wants to see Yves Guillemot as the CEO of Ubisoft. The group clearly wants to see Yves Guillemot, fucking French people and their names, out as CEO and threatened to gather similarly disgruntled minority shareholders for a proxy fight that would brute force a sale if its demands are not met. It's right here. It also says that they're also calling for more. Ubisoft had some layoffs recently. They want more layoffs, I guess, to free up some cash. So yeah, this looks like they just want to make sure that the company is going to go in a direction where there's going to make them more money, apparently. But I don't know what if like a new CEO is brought on board. Does that mean it's going to go the way they want, or is it just going to be more of the same? Because
Yeah, it's kind
yeah,
of
I don't know.
hard.
No, go ahead, JJ. Okay. Well,
Sorry, Jesus Christ, dude. um, it's just hard to figure out what they want to try to do. Cause yeah, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, about the whole private thing. Is to stop the company from bleeding, I guess, from the shares dropping, and then that affects their outcome of how people look at the company. Well,
Yeah.
look at the products
Or like
already. The
going
games.
private, does that allow them to then fire the CEO? Like, because they sound like you said they want to get rid of the CEO, so does going private in effect allow them to then fire the CEO without cause or whatever? Can they just get rid of them?
Yeah, because imagine firing a CEO and then like, oh shit, listen, they're not doing it. Let's jump ship, and that kind of makes them lose even more money. Man, I'm just talking about my ass at this point.
But yeah, I mean they do need a shakeup because there is like everyone does say like there's the Ubi formula. Like Ubisoft does have a formula what their games do. So it's like they do need a shakeup, but I mean
Oh, didn't.
that's the shakeup they need is to get a new CEO to get in there. Then I guess more power to you.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with Ubisoft. Speaking of companies that need major shakeups and everything, Bungie. JJ, you brought this up to me earlier, so I wanted to bring this up too. Uh, their former lawyer. Let me see if I can find his name real quick. I don't know if I could. Don McGowan, former general counsel at Bungie. Um, he just is basically saying it's not. There's nothing that like PlayStation or Bungie has said is a thing, but basically he's saying Sony, now that obviously they own Bungie, and with Bungie not doing so well, uh, This was his quote that Sony is forcing Bungie to get their heads out their asses. Which
Do you
makes
agree?
sense. I mean, look, obviously as a guy who plays Destiny in this podcast, in this group, I agree to a certain point. I don't think Bungie is doing so bad as everyone thinks. I think it gets a little hyperbolic, but it doesn't mean that Bungie is not in a great spot. And so I think that they could. Well, who's there? It's Pete Parsons is their CEO. I think they might need like him gone because apparently he's been kind of bad for them with some of the stuff. I mean, there was that whole thing after their huge amount of layoffs. Like he was, people were like, oh, he just recently showed off his cars and everything. Like he's making money, but they're still laying off people. I mean, the company is doing, when it comes to Destiny, they are having their major shakeup. They're not going to be doing the big expansions anymore. They're doing not small, but more mid-size, like still expansions, updates, or whatever you want to call it, and they're going to be doing them twice a year. And apparently, they're not going to just have like the story when they do their weekly or seasonal stuff. They're just going to, they've already started with the next season, or I guess the next episode, or whatever they're calling it, where all the story is just put out right away instead of week to week. That's at least if my memory serves me correctly. And then what they did say with this when they do their next like set of expansion style like updates, I guess, which the first one's called Project Apollo or something or codename Apollo, that it's gonna be non-linear and all this other stuff, more I guess character driven, things like that. So they are, when it comes to the development of Destiny, they're they are gonna shake things up. As for the company, I don't know what that looks like because they're going to come out with a marathon whenever it comes out, and that's supposed to be what's it an extraction shooter, right? Which I don't know why you would make an extraction shooter at this point when there's plenty of other games that serve that role, and I don't know if a Bungie led one can really crack a good chunk in that market, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know. I
What
think
was Marathon? Wasn't it kind of like a Doom style though, right? Shooter,
yeah, Marathon
the
before
original
was
one.
the original ones were the original games were like just Doom basically. Like I mean at that during those mid 90s to early 2000s, you had a lot of companies that were like, oh, we got to make a game that was like Doom, because obviously there was Doom, uh, Wolfenstein, same company or whatever, uh,
Hmm.
Unreal Tournament, that like Twitch shooter that's at the time was popular. There's a bunch of other ones. Duke Nukem, I guess, could be probably put into um, that category or whatever, at least for the time or whatever. What was that one? There's like a Christian game that basically was Doom, Bible something or some shit like that. I don't remember. I'm not kidding.
The Czech
Look it up.
cereal game, bro.
Oh yeah, there was right. That Czech cereal game was a Doom shooter. That's right,
Yeah,
huh?
I heard it was like really good actually too for being
Was it
like a.
called? I want to say the game was called Bible Blaster or some shit like that. Like it sounds like something you would see in a like as a fake video game, but I want to say, or maybe I'm thinking that was a fake video game, Bible Blaster, and that I'm just thinking I'm looking up Bible Blaster. Okay, that's a Simpsons thing, but I know that there was like a Doom shooter that was like a Christian game. I don't know what company made it, but yeah,
Yes, interesting.
I wish I could find it. I'd have to like really look it up. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but back to Bungie. I think, and I know this is probably not, wouldn't be a popular opinion, but I think Bungie needs to just, they, I think the problem with Bungie is that because, even though they're owned by Sony, they want to they want to run themselves. They want to be independent. And that has caused issues. That has caused maybe not disastrous launches, but obviously launches that were not to their liking, and even the final shape, underperformed somehow. Yes, part of that is due to the fact that
You
uh,
said dude.
the previous expansion before the final shape was not that good. Um, and then even the seasonal content leading up to it could have been better. But the final shape was great. It was a good send off for that Light and Darkness saga. But yeah, I mean, if you're doing something like before that, the Witch Queen was Beyond Light. Before Beyond Light was not Beyond Light, Lightfall. Before Lightfall was Witch Queen, which everyone loved, but before that, I think was Beyond Light. Then maybe I don't know. It's alternated. Like one expansion was bad, the next one was great, or good to great. Then the next expansion was like not well received. Then the next expansion, everyone's like, yes, they're back. It's that whole, I don't know if you've been seeing the meme with Sony. It's like, we're done. We're totally back. It's over. We're back. It's over. Like that kind of stuff.
That's like the Marvel meme recently.
Yeah, that too. So I don't know. I think at this point, maybe Bungie needs to just be completely folded into Sony. And if that means that Destiny has to is now just straight up just PlayStation exclusive, and then Marathon doesn't get released on other consoles or on the Xbox or whatever, then so be it. But I think Sony, for all for all its faults of Sony when it comes to their game style, what the PlayStation Studios like releases, I'm not a fan of it. Obviously, I do like some of their games, but they're all third-person action games. But they still release games that are extremely well received, Game of the Year nominations, Game of the Year winners. So there's, Sony obviously has to have, or PlayStation has some oversight, or has to have some sort of oversight when it comes to their studios to make sure that they release games that are going to be well received. And Sony has been hands off with Bungie, and it's not gone great. So I don't know. At this point, I'm just going to be reiterating the same thing over and over, I guess, or whatever. But I don't know if you guys have anything you want to add to it. Devin, we'll go ahead and go with you.
No, I mean, yeah, I think Bungie, they've kind of, I don't know, the CEO knew kind of what was going to happen if they underperformed. What was going to happen? The writing was on the wall that they were going to kind of get folded into Sony. So it's not shocking that's what happened. That they kind of just got folded in, and now we're just going to kind of be lost in the shuffle. It's sad that Bungie's kind of just going to be gone, but I don't know.
That's where the way it's kind of been like as if it has like trended that way, that we're gonna be in a world where like we don't have Bungie, that Bungie is gone. That is kind of like when you think about it, like that's gonna be sad,
Mhm.
because Bungie's been around. Like they have made, a lot of games, or not a lot of, but like they've made some very iconic games. Obviously, Halo, Destiny, but like people love games like Oni and Marathon. Like it's not like Bungie has just been this developer that came out of nowhere and was like popular for one game or one franchise, and now they're like, on a downward trend, kind of like Rocksteady. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I feel you, dog.
Or shit, even CD Project Red to a certain degree with being popular with the Witcher series, and then kind of having a bit of a, you know, like falling back a bit with Cyberpunk, but they seem to be back on, like back into the good graces of gamers and everything. Yeah, Bungie just. That's why I think they need to be just PlayStation needs to. They need to be folded completely into PlayStation Studios. They can't. It cannot be Bungie on its own, even though they're owned by Sony. So I don't know. JJ, you got anything to add?
Nah, it just sucks. But I was just thinking, like, what if they stuck to Halo? Would Halo be so much better
See,
if they kept?
that's the funny thing. Everyone always is like, oh, if because obviously Halo is not in like the most popular spot right now. Everyone's always talking about like Bungie should have stayed, like like Microsoft should just let Bungie take Halo with them. I'm like, nobody seems to be like so like infatuated with Bungie anymore. So would you have liked current Halo games still, or would it be we'd be in the same like same talking points with Halo about like, oh, Halo used to be good, but now they're not. But now Bungie's just about. And the thing actually that's funny when people are like, oh, Bungie just needs to develop or should have just kept developing Halo games. A lot of the people who developed Halo when they were with Bungie left Bungie to keep developing Halo with 343 Industries. Not some of the key people, but a lot of the people did sign on to 343 Industries. They just
Mhm.
they were just trying to keep up. And I know this isn't popular, but I mean I kind of like the 343 Halo games a little bit more. I just do. I think Halo 4 has the best story of any Halo game because it's more focused on Master Chief and actually trying to make him a character instead of just like, oh, he's just this kind of nothing character who says some badass liners, I guess, one liners, whatever, and he's just there. Like, no, I want the Master Chief to be his own character. And so they tried to
You're
do
talking
that
about
with
Halo
Halo 4.
Weapon.
I mean, no, you could still have awesome lines. I mean, he says, like, he even has, like, that, like, I don't know. He has some good lines still, even in his own, like, as they're trying to make him his own character. And I think Halo 5 was good. Yeah, maybe the story wasn't great in the campaign, but the gameplay was still really good. And then I think Halo Infinite is probably their best effort so far. And I think Halo Infinite might be the best Halo game so far because I like the story of it a lot more than the other because it still tries to humanize Master Chief more than the other games. Like you see when like he sees other dead Spartans. I mean, obviously you don't see it in his face because he's wearing a helmet, but you could see that it pains him to see other dead Spartans. And then the way like he's with I forgot the name of that character, but the way he's trying to like no, don't worry, we're gonna get through this and everything, even though that guy is like freaking out a bit or whatever it is. Um, yeah, and then obviously I think I mean Halo Infinite is probably the best feeling Halo game. I don't know. Now we're getting into a topic that is completely different, and yeah, I'm not trying to get chewed out by you guys if you're more Bungie Halo fans, or maybe you guys
I
don't
think
They
even.
they're
made
all.
banger, dude. They made bangers.
Look, man, I've played remember Devin? What was it? 2 years ago or whatever when we played through all the Halo games.
Yeah.
I think they've aged poorly. I think they've aged poorly. I don't think they're that good when you compared to the newer games. Halo
There's some
Reach.
there's some really outdated mechanics that suck. Like Halo 2's like legendary campaign where if like one person dies it restarts. That's just brutal.
But I also think like the way the games feel, they're kind of stiff. Like, and I get, Halo 1 and 2 were made, they're fucking, they're 20-year-old up games. But Halo 3 even still, like when you walk, like I hate the whole thing about like people hating sprint in Halo. Like play Halo 3. That game is slow. Like, and maybe yeah, that's more your style, whoever that person is. But you must not like games then, or just
Numbers
good
OG,
games.
though. We were the OG.
That Halo
You
3 is
understand?
slow. It like moving anywhere is a chore. And I'm just like, I just want to get to the next spot. Like that, this may come from the whole like, oh, impatience kind of stuff. Whatever. I don't know whatever, ADHD brain or whatever it's called. But playing Halo 3, which I still think of those first three is the best one, but it's so slow. It's just so slow. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
get
mean I definitely think Reach is probably my favorite Halo game.
of those ones, Reach is probably the best feeling and best playing. But there are some stuff that there's some things in that game that I didn't like. Like I don't like any of the armor abilities really, and I didn't like that sprint was an armor ability. But I do love Invasion. That game type is great. That's why I really liked it was in Gears of War Judgment. Overrun. I really like that game. It's similar to it, to Invasion, where you there's like a 3 level like map, and you're just you got to capture the point, move on to then the next part of the map opens up. I like that type of stuff. I really wish Gears would bring that back, but that's probably never going to happen in Gears. I guess Gears of War E Day is the next game, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and just you know, speaking of Halo, Microsoft, the owners of Halo, they're laying off 650 more people, and this is from the gaming side. This happened September 12th, and there was a memo. In the memo, Spencer said the roles affect mostly corporate and support functions and were made to quote to organize our business for long-term success, unquote. Uh, he clarified no games, devices, or experiences are being canceled, and no studios are being fuck. The fact that he has to mention this, no studios are being closed as part of these cuts. Um, this is more layoffs. I mean, earlier this year, right? They laid off a lot of people. So, oh yeah, I'm looking at it here. Earlier, they laid off 2,500 people. That was earlier this year. This is another 600. That's over 3,000 people laid off. That's a lot of
Hmm.
layoffs. And obviously, we all know why. It's because they just bought Activision Blizzard. They're trying to, you know, cut costs and cut corners and make sure they don't lose money, I guess. They're getting, it's in the red, right? Yeah, you don't want to be in the red.
Yeah, you want to be in the black. That's why it's called Black Friday because that's the
Yeah,
day that you
they
get
make
in the
you're supposed to make,
black.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I said it the last time we were talking about layoffs. Is this year's just been bad. We're in September now, and it's layoffs just still haven't slowed down. We've had Bungie layoffs, Sony layoffs, Microsoft layoffs, or PlayStation layoffs, Xbox layoffs. I guess Activision, specifically Activision Blizzard layoffs. There was who was the chip maker, the computer company, Intel or something, that had layoffs.
Oh
Like
yeah, they had a
everyone's having,
fuck ton, right?
yeah. Like there's just We talked about Ubisoft having their layoffs. It's just layoffs after layoffs. Just people.
Hey,
Ooh,
Yeah, Dundee does not like that
yeah,
one
he
bit
does
either.
not like that. I was
he
about to
does
say
not like he's not a fan of layoffs.
he's not a fan of layoffs. So yeah,
Yeah, but it's all about these corporate companies getting their nut. They always get like that's all it comes down to.
I mean, we've been saying it pretty much every time we talk about
Yeah.
layoffs, right? It's about the bottom dollar, or the bottom line, or whatever you want to call it, right?
Dollar bottom line. Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's not much more I can add to. It's just more layoffs. Just more. We're just talking about more layoffs, and there's not much more to add. It's just
At least this time it's more affecting the corporate people, not the people making the games. I guess that's. I mean, it's still people losing
like
their job, but
support
at least it's not
functions
the.
and stuff.
And,
They
like they're
did
gonna be
support
well off for a little bit.
support roles. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I just wanted to mention this because yeah, it's just more stuff to. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, we'll just move on to the next thing. We got a couple more things, or one more, and then we'll talk about the biggest story of the past week. this one I this one I want to mention just because of oh my god, like it's almost a no shit kind of thing. The Borderlands movie. That's it. It's ended its run in theaters. And you know what? I'm not going to say it just yet. I want you guys to guess. JJ, how much money do you think it made?
Well, you put it in the chat, bro.
I
And I
did?
saw it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
goddamn, I
saw
did.
it.
I did, didn't I? Ah.
It should have been like, should have just
That
said
they
like, if
made a
we get it
little bit of
right,
money.
if we get it exactly right, then you have to give us like 20
Oh,
bucks.
God, here we go. I thought you were going to say nudes or something.
Oh.
Whoa. That's the
Well,
voice chat only.
yeah, but then you're gonna be like, I don't have any money, and I'm like, well, there's other ways to pay.
There's other ways. Fuck, I forgot I put it in there. Okay, well,
31 million bucks. I'm
31
shocked it even made. I'm shocked it even made that much.
You know what? I was gonna say that seems a bit high.
I was like, how many of those people were on $5 Tuesdays or some shit?
How many of those people were Kevin Hart just buying out the movie theater just so it wouldn't look so bad?
Same with The Rock to help him out.
So
Yeah.
it's safe to say none of us have seen the movie yet, right?
Fuck
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna get someone to babysit so I can fucking go to the movie theater, spend money
Or no,
on a movie.
it's on like
I know, but like we're talking about, it's like
services.
theatrical box office run of like it's like yeah, fuck yeah, like I'm gonna get that. I'm like no, don't waste my time. I'm not gonna pay. I'm not even gonna pay like the rental fee. It's like I'll wait till Netflix gets it. Like they got Madam Web.
I was gonna say when it hits one of the streaming services, I want us to watch the movie and just do a special just review podcast of it. I want that.
Yeah,
I really want.
I'd be down for it, but I'm not paying any amount of money to watch that movie outside of my monthly subscription fees.
You're like, if it's on Netflix,
I won't even go to one of
Max,
those sites where you can watch it for free. I'm not even gonna like waste my time to like go to a website where you can watch.
Somebody did upload the movie to YouTube at one point. I wish it would have still been on YouTube. That was actually pretty.
But you know, YouTube's gonna take that or fucking they're gonna get that taken down.
Yeah. So yeah, $31 million. I think it's safe to say the movie was a bomb. I mean, like reviews were not
just a little bit
kind to say. I want to, I'm gonna see how much did this movie make or movie cost. So okay, when it said according to the numbers,
200 million.
I'm gonna see if I can find out. But I'm looking in the article. It says according to the numbers. I guess that's a website. Borderlands' last day in cinemas, theaters, people, come on, was September 5th, and as of that date, it had made 31 million at the worldwide box office, with 15.4 million in the US and 15.4 internationally. So wait, 15.4 plus 15.4 is not 31 million. So it made actually less than 31 million? That's 30.8 million.
Yeah, they must have rounded up.
They just rounded up. That's so okay. Variety has reported that Borderlands had a production budget of 115 million. Obviously, that's the production budget. There's still marketing, which I don't know how much they put into that. Oh, right here it says marketing and distribution costs at 30 million. That's nearly 150 million. And so to make money, they say you have to double what your production budget and your marketing budget. So
So
that
they were
movie
270 million
they
short.
were they needed to make that movie needed to make $300 million for it to be making money. Damn. Damn. I
Damn,
just
Daniel.
I don't
That's
know. I'm at a
fucking
loss for
sad, bro.
words.
That's
I'm at
fucking
a loss
sad.
for words. It's sad. I'm just like I can't. I'm when you now right now that we're looking at the or I'm looking at the numbers and we're doing the math and all that stuff. It's so like you just hear it made $31 million and you're like, damn, that sucks. That means the movie was a bomb. But to like put the actual context of like production budget and the marketing and everything, and like I said, they say that you need to like double that to make money. That is so
Look up
bad.
Madam Web, because I'm pretty sure Madam Web didn't even do as bad as Borderlands.
Let me see. Yeah, let me go into Google. Was
Use
it
the Google.
yeah, use the Google. Was it Madam Web box office? Here we go. Madam Web grossed 43.8 million in the United States and Canada, and 56.7 million internationally. So a worldwide total of 100.5. Madam Web. Madam Web made $100 million.
We all know why.
Actually, I don't know if you're
Yeah,
trying.
actually, take that back. There's two reasons why.
Oh my god.
Dakota Johnson's acting, and everyone thought I was a 50 Shades of Grey
It was
sequel.
like, oh, Madam Web. So now she's the one who actually is like, doing the BDSM stuff. Like, yeah. Oh man, yeah. That is bad. I did not. Oh, it did worse than Madam Web, and everyone was
Way
sure that
worse.
Madam Web. Everyone was sure Madam Web was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the worst. This is the worst movie of the year, and it's nothing's. All right, yeah. Damn. That's all I can say. I don't know. You guys got anything else to add to that, or you want to just move on to the last thing?
No, it's just. I
For
mean,
video game movies, I just can't wait to watch Sonic 3.
At least we're gonna have that to fucking wash
And yeah, the end of the year.
the fucking bad taste out of our mouth of that. It's gonna be a good movie. The first two were great. So,
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm super
although that
excited.
Knuckles show was not good.
Yeah, when you guys start telling me more, but like when you give me your input, I can see.
I just
my
didn't. I just don't like those types of like shows or movies where it's like it's named after the supposed main character, and they're not actually the main character. Like, I don't like that kind of stuff. Like,
Mhm.
like why name it Knuckles if it's not going to be about Knuckles? It's about this dude. Why name it Hawkeye if it's not going to be about Hawkeye? It's going to be about this chick. Why name it Mad Max? If it's not going to be about Mad Max. It's about Furiosa. And it can be good sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Like, I enjoyed Gears of War 4, and you think, oh, JD Phoenix is the main character, but the story's actually about what's her face, Kate. It works though.
It just works.
I don't know. All right, so let's get into the last topic, and this is definitely the biggest one for the week. Sony has officially, for better or worse, announced and shown off, did a presentation anyway, of the PlayStation 5 Pro. It was a video, 10 minutes, what is it, last Tuesday, right? I think.
Yeah.
It was a 10-minute video presented by that boring motherfucker, Mark Cerny. That dude is boring to listen to. I don't understand how people could want to watch videos or anything, whatever.
His last name kind of sounds like Sony.
So, it's the PlayStation 5 Pro. Obviously, we know what it is. It's a Pro version of the PlayStation 5 upgraded, upgrades to different features to make games look better, run better, yada, yada, yada. It's going to have an upgraded GPU with 67% more compute units, whatever kind of jargon that is, that the current PS5 console than the current PS5 console. Somebody made a mistake right there. It's 28% faster memory, advanced ray tracing, so you could get those better shadows and
Ray
reflections.
tracing's a myth.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that at all.
Much like the female orgasm, am I right, fellas?
And AI-driven upscaling with PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. So,
Sounds made up.
that definitely sounds made up. So, obviously, yeah, we know what this is. It's a better version of the current console. For $700. I repeat, $700. That has been the biggest talking point of the console. Not that games are going to look better. Well, actually, what the console can do has also been a talking point. We'll get to that too. But yeah, this has been the biggest talking point, is that it costs $700. Because not only does it cost $700, it doesn't come with a disc drive. If you want the disc drive, that's going to cost...
Or a stand.
Or stand, if you want to have the console stand up. If you want the disc drive, it's going to be $80. The stand, $30. So let's say you want...
Because the stand came... Because I have my PS5 standing up. I don't remember buying a stand. The stand came
No,
with the
it
original
came with
PS5, right?
So the original
Yeah.
PS5 came with a stand.
Okay.
The slim versions did not come with a stand.
Yeah. Just wild. It's like that piece of plastic does not cost you $30 to make.
No, it should not cost $30. It should just nowhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Any
you guys
reality.
are clearly marking this up. Like this costs you guys what to like all in all like make, package, and ship probably costs like $5 per, and you guys are just nickel and diming people for $30 extra.
Which, I mean, a lot of people say they're clearly not selling this console at a loss.
No.
No, they're just not. Which, is a sign of, I guess, the times with video games and everything. But here's the thing, too. Some reports and some stuff has come out specifically from Digital Foundry. Not every game's going to be able to do 60 frames at high fidelity with this console. So, at that point, what is the point? Because the point, like, the whole shtick of this console is that when they were doing their little presentation, is that, like, you either choose fidelity mode or performance mode. Oh, but this eliminates that choice. You just get both. But if certain games are still not going to be able to run performance and fidelity mode at the same time, then why even have this console? And then there's been reports that like Alan Wake 2 is not even going to run at like 900p. I've seen or maybe not Alan Wake 2, but that certain games are going to be at 862p. So they're still not even going to be like 1080p games. Just so it can do what it can do, I guess. And I'm just here wondering why. And it's an even bigger why because I think this is completely unnecessary. Performance should have just been the standard from the get-go because even in the presentation, he said like 75%, 3/4 or whatever it was, of players choose performance. So clearly that's what people want. They want a smoother frame rate and all that stuff. For some reason, companies have been not targeting that. They want to put prettier visuals. Like we've talked about. I mean, Devin, you've said this so many times. I don't care that I can see my character's reflection in other characters' eyes.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
care
just
about
like
that.
games look better at 60 frames. Like it's like they want like for whatever reason, it's like when they showed the game off at E3 or whatever. It's like they want to be able to have it like, oh, we took this picture in 8K and like that's a screenshot that they tweet out or X out, you know, like they X out this thing and it's just like, oh, okay, like I don't like, but the second you move, like it's gonna look choppy and it's gonna look better if you just run at 60 frames. If you're telling me that games can only run at 60 frames, 1080p, they're gonna look better than a 4K 30 frames per second, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Well, here's the thing. So what you're saying that like certain things are going to look choppy or whatever it is. When during the presentation, they showed like, oh, here's the difference between the Pro and the PS5. And it was stuff like, oh, you can see through this window in the distance when they were showing something for The Last of Us, I think part 2, whatever. Or like, oh, you could read the actual what the sign actually says, off in the distance. And I'm just thinking, so like I'm not paying attention to that when I'm playing the game.
To like Ratchet and Clank, like you can see like two people in the background more clear.
And it's just like
who gives
why
a
does
shit?
this? Yeah, exactly. Who gives a fuck? Nobody should give a fuck. Games should have been targeting performance the entire time, and we've got to this point where, for some reason, game developers are just like, no, just no, keep going with ray tracing and this and put the shadows and all the reflections in the eyeball and like you're saying the balls on the horse and stuff.
Mm-hmm. This shit don't matter.
It doesn't matter. And now it's gotten to a point where now the console makers, well, at least one so far, it's like, yeah, we're gonna make a console that's $700.
Yeah, because I know people like. I mean, we talked about I think we were talking about this in a little bit, but like they talked about like the cost for inflation, like these consoles cost this much, but like I'm pretty sure one of the PlayStation 3s at launch was $700 too.
Six.
Yeah,
The
those are
backwards
expensive
compatible one.
No, the $600 one was the backwards compatible. It was 500 to 600.
Okay.
It was
Oh
500.
no, it was cheaper to buy right. No, it was like the same price as a fucking Blu-ray, right? Player at the time.
I
was
want to
close by?
say it was more expensive actually.
Because I know like my dad was buying PS3s left and right. 'Cause he's like, what's the point of buying just a Blu-ray player if you can just buy a PS3
Well,
and
I
it
don't
plays
know.
games and everything?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I don't mind. Don't mind if I do. Just got a PS3 downstairs and a PS3 upstairs. Never played it that much though, because I was playing on 360.
Yeah.
You know how it is,
360
boys. You know how it is.
And then here's the thing too. Clearly, Sony doesn't want to lose money on this. They just raised the price of their controllers by $5.
Yeah, no, it's secret, right? Yeah.
They
Yeah,
just did it.
printed
They didn't make no announcement, no nothing. It just happened.
And they're just like, surprise.
Please, very so.
Yeah. There's been a talking point by some industry analysts and everything. I want to get your guys's like takes on this
Hmm.
because this is such a high sticker price for this console that Sony doing this was because of a lack of competition. That there's no competition, so we could just go ahead and do this. Do you guys agree with that?
I don't know if it's lack of competition. I think it might be them just getting a little cocky, though. Just kind of like thinking they can do whatever the fuck they want. I think it
Yeah.
might be more of that.
Well, clearly, look at people buying Last of Us Part 1 remastered for the third time, whatever.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's lack of competition. I think that just because they're number one, they're just taking that to heart. The same thing that happened from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. They were the top selling console, and then they just they decided to shit the bed with the PlayStation 3 reveal. And also, I mean, Xbox did the same thing. When they went from 360 to Xbox One, they fucked up their, coming out of the gate, and PlayStation, took advantage of that. But now we're seeing a little bit now of the reversal with PlayStation doing a lot of shit that is not popular to say with PlayStation 5. And I don't even know. One of the funniest things I've been seeing is that the disk drive shot up to number 2 on Amazon or something recently. Because the disk drive that they're selling right now is going to work on the PlayStation 5 Pro. You definitely know scalpers have been buying the shit out of those. That's why it shot up. And they're going to sell those motherfuckers. Yeah.
I mean, if dumb Sony fanboys are gonna pay for a PlayStation 5 Pro, guess who's gonna fucking scalp some people some PS5 Pros?
So,
this guy.
Speaking of Sony fanboys, trying to
I'm not a
justify.
Sony fanboy.
No, but speaking of Sony fanboys trying to basically justify this and everything, oh, man. I want to talk about this. So, Jeff Keighley, the Mountain Dew master himself. He's got his game awards. He does the Summer Games Fest and everything. He's a big name when it comes to the video game, just video games in general. He's trying to make it more mainstream or just a bigger, entity in and of itself or whatever you want to say. Boy, was he having a field day with this in regards to defending the price. He had this tweet adjusting for inflation, this costs this much and this costs this much and yada yada yada. And he just kept putting out different, tweets about here's the PlayStation 5 and all this stuff. Which I hate this whole thing that people have tried to use if you adjust for inflation, you're actually not spending as much if you that was back then. This is now. Still, $700 is a hard pill to swallow when it comes to how much you're going to spend on a console. Now, because of Jeff Keighley, and his we'll just say enthusiasm for the PlayStation 5. Website hard drive. They're if you guys heard of The Onion and everything. They're basically The Onion, but for video games. They just make joke articles and everything. So this was September 12th. the first one, their first tweet they came out. This is great. Sony announces pro version of boots for Jeff Keighley to lick. You know, they're making fun of Jeff Keighley. Yeah, I know. It's fucking great. It's great. Now, this happened within the past 24 hours or whatever. They tweeted out another thing. It was a truck full of cash, and the I forgot what you call it, with the tweet saying Jeff Keighley on his way from PlayStation headquarters. Another thing making fun of Jeff Keighley, and his, like I said, enthusiasm. So Jeff Keighley replied, yes, good old Jeff Keighley. He replied with a gift that says, I want to see the receipts. To then Hard Drive replying back with like a video showing like just all the tweets that he did that day of the PS5 Pro reveal. Just all the different, like I said, he made like, it was like 12 or something like that. I'm not even kidding. He did reply to that. Let me see if I can find it, because it was pure gold. He tried so hard to what's the word, like, to not look like he was mad or something. I just want to.
He was clearly mad, bro.
Oh no, he was obviously. So, oh yes, like I said, they quote tweeted his I want to see the receipts or whatever, with like, yeah, a video of, it's a 13-second video. That should show you them scrolling through, like, oh, you did all these tweets. So he replied to that with a tweet of theirs. Because in their tweet they said, "Did you forget to invoice them?" Speaking of, in reference to Sony, he replied back saying, "We'll send mine in right after yours," and he has just a screenshot. They posted, it's a picture of that Astrobot controller, and with the caption, "Happy Game of the Year launch day. Enjoy your controller." So he's clearly thinking like, oh, like, they're kind of fanboying out for Astrobot as going to be Game of the Year. They're fanboying out for Sony then. Except that in the picture of the Astrobot controller, it's clearly making fun of the gameplay of Astrobot. It has like these orange, like, as if this is where the buttons are being pressed mainly. And it's just the X button and the left stick and the trackpad. So it's clearly making fun of the gameplay of Astrobot. After Jeff Keighley tweeted that out, they quote tweeted him again with a picture that says, "Please wrap it up." Which, if you remember the Game Awards from last year, makes this just even more hilarious that they put that. Then he replied, how original, love the site though.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I love that. I just love it. They kept burning him hard, and he was so like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back." You could clearly tell, like, he was like, he thought he had them.
He took the L. He took the L, as the kids say.
Yeah, he clearly thought he had them, and they kept getting back. Like, no, you don't. You're. Yeah, he should have sat that one out from the very beginning.
Give a fuck.
I mean, because, like, here's the thing. Like, I've said it before. You guys are not terminally online like I am. People call him the Dorito King and the Mountain Dew Master or whatever it is. But, like, he's obviously such a big voice in the gaming space and everything. but he's such a Sony fanboy and a Kojima fanboy that it's almost like maybe he shouldn't be. I mean, when he does things like when we talked about it was the Game Awards, right? Yeah, where they showed off the Kojima games and everything, and he gave like 15 minutes or whatever it was for Kojima to just talk about
Yeah, half
nothing.
yeah, half of it was that he's just fucking crazy, bro. I guess he's your friend, but still, bro.
Yeah. So like, I just think it's hilarious that he clearly, as the kids say, got triggered, and he had to reply to this website that just makes joke articles. They make fun of everything. Like, and it's not like they just make fun of just like they just made fun of Sony stuff or Jeff Keighley stuff. They also made fun of, like, if you look through their tweets, like right here, this is 5 hours ago, GameStop pre-orders bankruptcy. Yeah, I know. Coworkers don't believe Nintendo employee has nephew in 5th grade. I guess this is in reference to all the people like, I have an uncle that works in Nintendo. Uh, right here, look, Elon Musk demands Twitter engineers fix gaping void where his soul is supposed to be. Just things like that. They make fun of everything. I know they made fun of Xbox and their layoffs recently. I wish I could find that one. Oh, it's just a picture of that guy who's like looking at another girl, but he's holding his girlfriend's hand, and it's Phil Spencer looking at the girl. It says layoffs, and the girl that's like, "What are you looking at her for?" Or whatever. It says employee job security. So yeah, they make fun of everything and the ridiculousness of all that stuff and whatever. Meaning, like, don't take it seriously. This is what they do. And Jeff Keighley, I guess, didn't get the memo. Yeah, I don't know.
Or he thought he was smarter than those
Than them,
people.
and clearly he wasn't. Like I said, the cherry on top is for them to just say, "Please wrap it up." Like, holy shit! Like, that is such a
From the
great
top rope.
Yeah, that from the top rope. Please wrap it up. Just to like, yeah, because of all his like, please wrap it up from the Game Awards stuff. Man, yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying to go back to my bookmarks because there was something else. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but more back on Sony and their PlayStation. Sony has come out now. They said they're gonna start selling refurbished PlayStation 5s for half the price of the recently announced PS5 Pro. So what, 350 or whatever? It's gonna be refurbished. That's directly from them. I don't know what. I think it's called PlayStation Direct actually. The website or whatever. And I guess that's something. If you really want a PlayStation, you could probably get one for like 350 or whatever it is. But again, $700. Like, what are we doing here, people?
That's insane, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Not even like a special, like crazy edition either. It's just the Pro.
So
There's some extra lines on it.
yeah, I know, right?
True.
So we have talked about this. We talked about this. What was it, last week, right? But I want to bring this conversation into the podcast. This, to me, signals it's a bad omen for future generations of consoles. $700 for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Yes, it is the Pro version. You don't have to get it. If you're fine with the PlayStation 5 original or the Slim, that's great. But still, $700. To me, that's signaling that the next generation of consoles could possibly be $600 as the starting price point. Maybe $550 if we're lucky. I mean, the consoles are already right now at $500 or $550 or whatever. Didn't they raise it by $50 within the past couple of years or whatever it was. They're raising the PlayStation raising the price for their controllers. Things like that. To me, it's not crazy that like Xbox, the Series X2 or whatever it is called, and the PlayStation 6. To me, it's not crazy to think that they might be $600. And we're looking at like now when we're looking at a possibility of this hobby starting to become a little too expensive, I think. And like I talked about it with you, Devin, right? Maybe
About
you two, JJ. Like for guys like us, we don't just want to have just the Xbox. We also want to have the PlayStation. We also want to have like the next Nintendo console, which possibly could be like $450. So like if you buy all three consoles, you're looking at spending like $1,600 if that's what ends up happening. To me, I'm like, is now PC gonna have to be the way to go? And that's been a big discussion point on social media. Like if these consoles are going to be that expensive, why even buy them? Why even go after them? Why instead just go for PC? And yes, PC obviously has its faults and everything, but for me, I tend to be more on the like, yeah, maybe I should just go PC.
you're a moron.
Sure, we'll go with that. I mean, Devin, are you comfortable spending 600, 400 if that ends up being the case for the PlayStation 6, the Series X2, and the Switch 2?
As long as they're 2 terabytes, then yeah, 600 I'm fine with. So that's the caveat. It has to be of a certain the hard drive needs to be a certain size.
What about you, JJ?
For 600?
Let's say the next Xbox, the next and PlayStation 6, they're $600, and the next Nintendo consoles $400. Actually, and reports, some rumors and everything are saying it's probably going to be like $450.
Honestly, I'm actually gonna buy the new Xbox next month, so it's like $600. So I don't even give a shit. I probably won't be buying them like the same year, but I'll eventually get them all. I don't mind it. But you're not gonna see me fucking drop $1,500 essentially, in like in the span of like 2 months. Especially when you have kids and shit like that. There's no way,
Yeah. Like they're all not going to launch the same month. Like so it's like obviously get like the Switch later on or like the Switch will launch like randomly, but I'll probably be like probably gonna be able to get the Switch like day one or whatever, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I hope they're only $500, but if they do end up coming out, they're $600 as long as they have a good hard drive.
I don't know, man. For me, I just don't think gaming has become so expensive with buying certain things. Games have raised the price. They went from $60 to $70. Consoles are, for some reason going up in price. Controllers and all that stuff. I get, obviously companies need to make money, but this is a hobby, and it's becoming an expensive hobby. I just, when it comes to wanting, I guess the reason I think it's more of a harder pill to swallow for prices like that is that I am one of those people who wants to have all the consoles because I want to be able to play everything. I don't. I think it's. I think having one console really handicaps you from being able to enjoy gaming. And I'm not saying that someone who owns one console can't enjoy gaming or whatever, but just to fully enjoy it, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like obviously with the Switch, you get all the Nintendo exclusives. I mean, just having a console in general, like the PlayStation or Xbox. I know GTA's don't come out that often, but like you do get like 18 months of exclusivity usually, like before it comes out on PC. So even like there are games that come out on console, or even like you can just kind of like you don't have to like you can wait for reviews to come out and you can see if like certain games don't run. Like if you have a PC, but you're like Arkham Knight. I don't know. I don't even know if it's still fixed like on PC, but it's like it runs good on console. So if you want Arkham Knight, like just get it on console then. So it's just like you have the ability to like if there's a
I,
better
I
version,
want to
or
say
even
Arkham
like
Knight actually. It was a fan. Like you have to download a fan fix.
gotcha. Um, but yeah, and then like or like just like back in like if certain consoles get like exclusive shit, like if I don't know if you're a big Destiny guy or whatever, like, and they're starting to release more because like most likely Sony's going to get more favorable stuff. So it's like then you couldn't go that way. So like yeah, you have to spend more money, but it's nice having your own personal options.
I don't know.
And yeah, me as a collector, I like just having things too.
I don't know. Like I said, for me, I've been more like, okay, if I'm gonna end up having to spend that much money, I think I'd rather just get a PC that, like the one I have right now, it doesn't run games at ultra settings. I don't care about that kind of stuff, like the ultra settings, but it runs games at 60 frames and they look good still at like they're probably 1080p. But fuck, if I could tell what the fidelity is on that shit. So,
Especially with your fucking cataracts at your age.
oh my god. Okay. Okay, we're gonna end on that one. But that we're gonna end it. Cause wow. I don't know.
That was a top tier old person joke right there.
I hope you fucking get cataracts when you get older.
Eh, I got health insurance. I think I'll be okay.
You're white too. They'll give you the best coverage money can buy too. You know how with your white privilege. Come on, bro.
Some man.
A little. I don't know. JJ, you got more to add to this discussion, or just PlayStation 5 in general, or PlayStation 5 Pro?
No, not really. No, I think we already kind of covered it from my thoughts. It's a scam, but yeah, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a scam too, but that's a whole other thing.
Because so many people just drink anything that fucking they dish out.
Yeah, that's true. Ugh. Okay, then. Let's go ahead and end it right there. I think that was a pretty good discussion. It's actually kind of it's a short episode this week, but like I said,
It's
the
an
news
Everett
wasn't.
episode.
Yeah, it sounds like it. The news wasn't. There wasn't a lot of it. It was just there was that big, some of the bigger things or whatever. But yeah. All right. So that's been episode 28. You guys, I saw our last episode did 18 views, so that one was doing numbers. So if you guys like this stuff, comment, subscribe, like all that good bullshit. You know, try to.
That's right, chat. Put some F's in the chat for Everett here.
Right. I've been your host, To Be Kill You, Devin.
Let's grip it and rip it, boys.
Jesus Christ. JJ.
Keep it sleazy.
All right, and until next time, we'll catch you later.